You got to stop looking for motivation. It's not something that you lack, it's something that's just simply unreliable. If you want to get things done, you need to rely on systems and on structures that you can follow even when you don't feel like it. And that, of course, is discipline. You've heard it 100 times. Discipline is what actually matters, and motivation is futile. Motivation doesn't last. It gives you a really good spark in the beginning, but you can't rely on motivation every day to get to where you want to go and get the things done you want to get done. Structure allows you to have guaranteed progress in areas you want progress in without you having to think about it too much, or without you having to have some spark for you to give you that push for you to do those things. If you follow a certain structure and you know, if I do this, then I'll make progress in this one area, and then you repeatedly do that over a long period of time, you're going to guarantee results in that area. It's impossible to not get progress in an area if you have a structure around it and you have things you can follow every single day to get to that 1 inch at a time and to progress towards that. And there's nothing wrong with motivation. We all could use it every once in a while. The problem is when you try to rely on it every day, all day for you to get to where you want to go, because we're humans, and that's just not a good fuel source. Because if you only rely on motivation for things, chances are you're not going to feel like doing anything most of the time. I bring up the gym a lot on this channel. You can get motivation to go to the gym, like how a lot of people are. It's about to be the new year. A lot of people are going to have the motivation to go to the gym again and to try to get in shape again, but that motivation lasts a few days, a few weeks at most, and then the gyms are empty again because they don't have a structure to follow. If instead you use the motivation at the start, which there's nothing wrong with, or every once in a while, because even I get boosted motivation in the gym, and I've been training for years still if I watch a video or something like that. But instead, if you use the motivation at the start, but you also set up a structure, so you say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to work out no matter what this year, and then you follow that structure, you're going to actually be able to get in the shape you want to get into and get the results you want to get through that, instead of trying to rely on motivation for you to go to the gym whenever you feel like it. If you say, I want to get in shape, but you don't know when you're going to go, you're only going to rely on when you feel like it, you're never going to go, and you're not going to actually get the results you want. You're going to fall off like everybody else. You can't run on something that fades, because motivation always fades 100% of the time. Even if you love something like working out, you're not always going to be motivated to go do that thing. So that's where your structure comes in, and you can follow your structure, and that's how you get to where you want to go. And if you rely on motivation, it creates a vicious cycle where you start strong and then you fall off, and then you might feel guilty. You might beat yourself up. You might be like, dang, I can never do this thing. And then you look for that other source of motivation, and then you repeat the cycle over and over again, where you start strong, you fall off, you give up, then you feel bad, and then you just keep doing that over and over again. And you don't actually get to where you want to go. You never hit the results you want to hit. And there's no fun in that. You should be doing things to get results. You shouldn't be doing things just for the sake of it, or just to fall off of it after a few weeks. You should be doing things to actually get results. If you want to go to the gym and get in shape, go in there to get the results you want. Whether you want to just slim down a little bit, or you want to actually build some muscle, you want to get better in your cardio, you want to be able to run longer, whatever goal you have, actually go in there for results. Don't go in there just to go in there. And I'm going to bring up the gym a lot in this video because it's a very common thing, and a lot of people get the motivation to go to the gym, especially this time of year. It's about to be the new year, and then they fall off. But for me, especially at the start, I had that motivation at the start like everybody else. This was years ago when I started doing this full time. I had the motivation like everybody else, and I had bursts of that before that. But when I really got out of that motivation, when I finally decided I really wanted to get in decent shape, like in really good shape, that I liked, that I would be able to take off my shirt and be really proud. And at the beginning, I had that motivation, and I was going. And then a few weeks go by, a few months go by, and there's no motivation to go. And I had to rely on my structure. And I was training 6 days a week at that time. I was training every body part 3 times a week. I was really going crazy at it, and I forced myself to follow that structure for a year straight. And I'm really glad that I did that, because within that year I saw those results I wanted to, and then I was able to tone it down. I was able to peel it back a little bit. Then I went to two times a week, and then I kept growing, and I kept getting to where I wanted to go, and I kept seeing more results and more results. And it's just something that you have to force yourself to do. And if I didn't have those structures, and if I didn't have that discipline and force myself into those things, I wouldn't have a physique that I'm actually proud of today. Because now it's just about getting bigger slowly still, but I don't have to go in there super crazy, go in there super hard all the time, because I was trying to build muscle as fast as possible. Now I'm just kind of chilling. I don't really want to build muscle as fast as possible because it's already been a few years, so all my newbie gains are pretty much done for. But I know that there's still potential in the next few years for me to still raise that cap and still build more muscle. But the point is, I didn't rely on motivation to get to this habit, to get on this habit of training full time for years. You have to fall on your structures, because you will never rise to the occasion. You will never rise up to the task, but you will fall to your standards. So if your standards are, I'm going to train 5 times a week no matter what, then you have that to fall back on. And if you want to go more, then go for it. But you have to set up those structures. And structure gives you guardrails. It gives you something that's predictable that you can just follow without having to think about it too much. You set it and you forget it, unless you need to make some tweaks, but there's nothing wrong with that. The best thing that I did was get Google Calendar. If you want to use a different one, go for it. You want to use Outlook Calendar or something like that, I like Google Calendar the most. Download Google Calendar on your phone and structure out, not just when you want to train, structure out your days. When you want to go work out, structure when you work. When you want to just do things that are important to you, put it in your Google Calendar. Because if you just have these things in place and they're predictable, and you know that every day, like for me, I know every day when I get off work, I'm training by 5:30 p.m. So it's just a no-brainer. Or whenever I go 3 to 4 days a week now, I don't go every single day anymore, but I know that at 5:30 on the days that I'm training, and I know that after that I'm doing this other thing, and then I'm doing this other thing. I have it all scheduled out. From the time I get up, go to work, to the time I go to bed, it's all scheduled out. I even schedule out my sleep in there. You have to schedule these things so you're not wasting pockets of time. And if you don't think you're wasting time, then okay, there's 168 hours in a week. Add up how many hours a week you sleep, how many hours a week you work, how many hours a week you train if you train right now, and how many hours a week you spend time with your family or your girl or whatever, right? And add all those up and then subtract it from 168. And I guarantee you have tens of hours that you are wasting that are unaccounted for. Most people have 60 to like 100 hours that they don't even realize that they're wasting every week. Like 60 to 80. It's usually a pretty high number. When I first did that years ago, I had like 65 hours that I didn't even know where it went every week. And I was like, oh dang, I'm wasting a lot of time. So my goal was to chop that down a whole lot. Find out how much time you're wasting, and then fill in a calendar and just try to get as much done as you can if you want to actually get some things done. Because you don't need motivation to follow a calendar and to follow structure and to follow routines. All you need is discipline to do it. And that builds an identity. It just becomes who you are at that point. You don't have to think about it. You just know, on these days I'm doing these certain things. And then you go about your day doing those things. And that guarantees progress in those areas. If you are doing things every day in the areas you want to progress in, and you're actually doing the work for it, you're going to make progress in those areas. It's impossible to fail in those areas. If you know you're going to train on these certain days, and you go in there, you actually work out and you try, and you get the macros you need, and you do everything right outside the gym too, in the kitchen, because that matters more than you actually training, then it is guaranteed you're going to get the results you want in your body. And that's the same with anything else in life. But if you can master the gym and getting yourself in shape, you can master a lot of other things, because yourself is usually the hardest thing to master. Your brain and your own body are the hardest things to master. And once you master those things, you can master a lot of other stuff. So build a structure that works for you. Identify what you want to actually get done and what's actually important to you, and then figure out what you need to do to get those things done, right? The tasks. put those tasks in a calendar. Block out time where you're going to do those tasks in a calendar somewhere. If you don't want to download Google Calendar, get an actual whiteboard calendar, put it on your wall, and then write it all out on that thing. Whatever you need to do, build a structure for what you want to actually get done, and then just follow it. It's really that simple. Follow it even if you don't feel like following it. And if you have to change some things around, change some things around. Things are going to pop up. Leave your calendar fluid and flexible. It's not going to be this 100% rigid thing that no matter what, you're always going to follow everything to a T. You're going to have to move some stuff around. Life is life. Don't be a robot about this, but follow it to the best of your ability and actually try to get those things done. And then you will see progress no matter what. It's 100% guaranteed you'll see progress. And it's something that keeps you going. You don't have to rely on motivation to follow your calendar. You don't have to rely on motivation to know if I'm going to train at 6 p.m. I'm going to train at 6 p.m. You don't need motivation for that. You just go in at 6 p.m. because it's there. You know it's there and you should be doing that thing. Yeah, you don't need motivation. You need a structure that's going to actually work for you. Motivation is great to get you started, but it's not going to help you get to the finish line. You can't run a marathon off of motivation. Because you're going to be tired of running after probably the 5th mile or even before that. You're going to need actual structure and discipline to get through the rest of those miles to finish that marathon. And it's the same thing here. Same thing goes. Don't rely on motivation for these long, really good goals that you want to achieve and these really meaningful things, because if you rely on motivation, it's not going to happen. You need discipline and structure for these things. So make a structure for yourself, because if you really want to change something, you can't do it off of a feeling. You have to have a framework for these things. That's the cheat code. You need a framework for these things, because if you operate off of how you feel and the motivation and all of those things, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. But if you got this far, my name is TJ. Let me know down below if you're going to download Google Calendar or you're going to write them out, and tell me what you're going to put in your calendars. I want to hear about it. Tell me what goals you want to hit, especially because New Year's about to roll around. If you do want to get in shape or whatever else it may be, let me know down below. I want to hear about it. But if you found this helpful, consider liking, consider subscribing. I got some more stuff on the way. And that's it. I'll see y'all.